Claire, would you like to get the ball rolling? What's the first of three?
The tenses cannot change
Okay, very good. So tenses must persist unless what? Remember there was an exception to this. Unless what?
unless in reported speech.
There we go. And you can see on the screen today, we are doing precisely that, right? So it is the exception to the rule. So today we will break that rule. Okay, thank you. What's the second rule, Kanish?
The meaning shouldn't change.
Very good. The meaning shouldn't change. And here, this rule is never broken. This is the golden rule, right? You never change the meaning, whether you change the tense or not. You still have to keep the meaning intact, okay? So meaning is the golden rule. It never changes. So if your answer is not the same as your question in its meaning, its essence, then you have made a mistake somewhere and you need to go back and check your process or your product, your answer, okay? Very good. What's rule number 3? This has to do with the movement of the connectors, right? This has to do with the movement of the connectors. Can anyone remember what is rule number 3? This has to do with the movement of the connectors. Joshua?
When the connector moves, a comma takes its place.
Where does the connector move, Joshua? Be accurate.
To the front.
Very good. Connectors can only exist in two main positions in a sentence, right? They either exist at the very beginning to signal that this is a subordinate clause, or they exist in the middle of a sentence to signal that this sentence is made up of two composite parts, okay? So when a connector moves from the center back out to the front, right, and the order of the sentences change, then there's a comma that takes the place of that connector in the middle of the sentence because it's like a placeholder. You can't leave it blank. It's like, it's a vacuum. You have to fill it up with something. In this case, it's usually a comma. Just be cautious. Connectors moving only. If any other elements of the sentence move, you cannot replace them with a comma. This doesn't work for every type of word, only for connectors. Everybody clear about that? So these are the three main or cardinal or most important rules that you must observe in synthesis. And we are breaking one of those cardinal rules today. We are going to change the tense of the product sentence, okay? And I'll explain to you all why, we'll revise why again, okay? Can you all remember the other two less important rules just before we get on with it? These are things that we don't mention as often, Brian?
The answer is supposed to be shorter than the question.
Very good. In synthesis and transformation, the answers are usually shorter than the questions, right? Because when we combine things, we try to eliminate additional or excess words. And that's my 5th rule, right? Repeated words are either eliminated or replaced by pronouns that represent them, right? So these are the 5 main rules of synthesis. Meaning cannot change, tense cannot change. When a connector moves to the front, a comma takes its place. Answer must be shorter than the question. And any repeated words, any repeated names, any repeated phrases will either be replaced or eliminated entirely. Okay? So that's my 5 rules of synthesis. Everybody clear? Right? You should all be familiar with it, right? We've repeated it like a dozen times already, but it's been a while since we talked about it, okay? So very quickly, I'm going to go into reported speech, and I'm going to I've involved your names in these sentence constructions, okay? So do not be surprised if you appear as guest stars in these sentences. Then please help me to solve them if your name appears. Is that okay? If your name appears in the sentence, you must solve that question. Is that clear? Everybody clear or not? Not your heads if you understand what I'm saying. If your name appears, if more than one of your names appears, then the first person who answers wins. I don't know what you win lah. You win a smile from me lah, whatever. Okay. So if there are multiple names that appear in a sentence, then multiple people will snatch for the answer. Okay. And the person who wins, I guess I will smile at you in a weird way. Okay. Can? All right. That will be your reward. Okay. Are we all ready? Are we good? You look out for your names. If you're blur and you don't answer right, then everybody else is gonna, I don't know, glare at you. Okay. Social pressure. Okay. Are you all ready? Okay. Let's go. Okay. So, I'm sorry. Before we go into the questions, okay, just a bit of a review. So, reported speech is when I report something that someone said, right? So I hear somebody say something in direct speech, right? And then I report it. Ariel, can you please sit properly? Thank you very much. Okay, right. So let's say, for example, right, I overhear Ryan, right, talking to his pet turtle. Okay, right. Let's say Ryan has a pet turtle, and Ryan tells his pet turtle, "Oh, You're such a handsome turtle. Okay, so Ryan exclaimed, right, to his pet turtle, "You're such a handsome turtle," right? Okay, Ryan, where are you? Wave if you can hear me. Ryan, are you there? Yeah, okay. Do you have a pet turtle, Ryan? Ryan, can you hear me? You have a pet turtle? No, okay, you don't have a pet turtle. Never mind. Okay, so pretend, huh? So Ryan, right, exclaimed to his pet turtle, "You're so handsome," right? So Ryan exclaimed that his pet turtle was so handsome. Okay, so very simple, right? When I report, let's say I hear Ryan say that, right? Then I will tell Nicholas, "Hey, Nicholas, I heard, Ryan exclaimed that his pet turtle was so handsome." So I'm telling Nicholas something that I heard Ryan say. Do you understand? Right? So that's basically reported speech, right? You're just telling somebody else something that you heard someone else say. Okay, so Stephanie said, "I am thirsty." There is the addition of the word that, right? Okay, so the saying verb, right, or the reporting verb will always be followed by a preposition, or in this case, a preposition that points in a direction, right? So Stephanie said that she was thirsty, right? The connector that, right, functions as a preposition that points you to she was thirsty. Okay, all good, everybody? Are you all ready for the next question? Okay, so remember that there are changes in the pronoun. I becomes she, and Sid becomes was, right? I am becomes was because Sid is in the past tense, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so there are some sentences that have no change in the tense. Okay, so Kylie, can you try to solve this question, please?
Do I have to say my name or just say I?
No. Do not assume the character. Okay, just say the answer exactly as you see it. Do not assume the character. Okay, yeah, thank you. Good question though. Carry on.
Kylie said that the earth is round.
Very good. All right, pretty straightforward. Okay, so I have put the easier questions in front. Do not expect that the later parts will be easier. So you better be prepared if your name is not sent in front. So Kylie, you can sit back and relax. No, I'm just kidding. Your name may appear again. Okay, do not let your guard down. Okay, so Kylie said that the earth is round. Can anyone tell me why the previous example with Stephanie had a change and this one doesn't? Brian?
The earth is round is a fact.
Lovely. Right. Can you all remember we learned about simple present tense? Right? Simple present tense represents facts and repeated actions, habitual actions, right? The earth is round, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Correct, right? Rises in the east, right? Sets in the west, right? I didn't say it wrongly, yeah? Some of you were like frowning, I don't know why. Okay. The earth is round. Okay. Anybody believes the earth is flat? No. Okay, good. All right. So these are factual statements that are eternally present. They are eternally present, meaning they never fall out of fashion. They never go into the past, right? So always in the present tense, okay? Now, what about this? What do you think is the answer? Now Mr. Pang has to answer, right? Because Mr. Pang's name, right? So fair, right? Fair, okay? Okay, sorry, there's a mistake here. I think lizards are reptiles, right? Not repugnant. I got a bit carried away. I don't like lizards. So I just changed the word reptiles to repugnant. I apologize. But the statement of fact is that lizards are reptiles, right? So Mr. Pang said that lizards are reptiles, okay? Right? So, okay, there we go. Okay, what about this one here? Joshua, you want to give it a try?
Joshua said that he is going to make tea.
Oh. What do you think? Nod your head if you think Joshua is correct. Shake your heads vigorously if you think he is wrong. Vigorously. Yes. Please. Don't twist your heads off, right? Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Thank you. All right. This is not some kind of party, yeah? Don't shake your heads off. Okay. So yes, Joshua rightly put the emoticon for sadness because you are incorrect. Can anyone tell me what is the correct answer in synthesis? Yes. Duncan, I give you a chance since you're so hyperactive.
Joshua said that he
Oh, stop right there. Absolutely wrong. Okay. One more casualty. Duncan, you are now lying on the floor like Joshua. 2 casualties down. Who else? Anybody else wants to try? This is not. I wasn't anticipating for this to be difficult, you know. I thought this was like first few questions very easy. Okay, Claire. We've had 2 boys. Let's have a girl. Claire.
Joshua said he was going to
Oh, third person fell onto the floor. No. Oh dear me. Okay, one more girl to even out the odds. Okay, Ariel, go.
Joshua says that he went to make tea.
You got the first part, then you fell on the second part. 4 bodies on the floor. Okay, are we going to have 38 people? Like, yes, Brian.
Joshua says that he was going to make tea.
Very good. Yes. Okay. Except it's wrong. Okay, except that is wrong. Okay, you're almost there. You're almost there. Almost there. Okay, Brian, but I have no time already. Okay, so I didn't want to keep on like having more bodies fall to the floor. So Joshua says that he is going to make tea. Why does the tense not change? Because of the verb says. Can you say the word says here? Says implies that this action is ongoing. It's currently happening. So of course, when you unpack it and report it, it has to be in the present. Right? So the reporting verb is the controlling verb. Do you all get it? If the reporting verb is in the past tense, then you have to change the contents of what is reported to the past. If the reporting verb is in the present tense, then you have to keep everything in the present tense. But may I say, it is very seldom that we use present tense in reported verbs. Do you all understand? Reporting verbs are usually in the past tense. Very seldom are they in the present tense. But this is just to show you that it's possible. And in the event that this happens, for example, in PSLE, you don't want to do muscle memory. You think that it's past tense, you can write as past tense, that is wrong, right? Be very alert. Be very careful. Every word is important. Don't think that it's past tense when it's not. Don't think what is not there. Look at what's there. Observe and follow what is on the paper, not what's in your head. Is that clear, everybody? And this is a problem that we faced in our previous exam. Remember, a lot of you answered what was in your head and not what was on the paper. So be alert to this, okay? I put it there specifically to test you, and we already have 5 casualties, right? We already have 5 casualties, and nobody got it right. So you see, all of you are seeing what's not there. Okay, never mind. Let's just get to this. Said, told, explained, exclaimed are all in the past tense. So if the content is in the simple present, it changes to simple past. If the content is in the present continuous, it changes to past continuous. If the content is in present perfect, it changes to past perfect, and so on and so forth. Is that clear, everybody? You should have learned this before, right? This is just a refresher. So I am going becomes I was going, right? He says becomes he said, right? He had said, he has said becomes he had said, right? And he had said remains as he had said, because past perfect is the highest form. You can't change it anymore. Is that clear, everybody? Okay, more examples coming up. I know this is a little bit complex, right? So let's go. She said, I don't believe you. This one has no name. So anybody wants to try this? Yeah, okay. Shani, you go.
Paging for Mr. Patrick Ang. Can please come over to the office?
Shani, unmute yourself.
Mr. Patrick Ang.
She said that she said that she did not believe him.
Very good. Or her is fine, right? Did not believe him or her is fine, because there is no gender indicated for you. So either one is fine. Okay, Shani, very good. I like that you unpacked don't to did not, because you changed the do not to did not. You did not leave it as a contraction. Excellent. Okay, so she said that. You inserted the word that. Excellent. Okay. All right, so him or her is perfectly fine, right? Because there is no clear indication of gender, right? You all must be alert lah. The gender is very important, okay? Very good. Let's just do a couple more examples, okay? Then we will relax already. Okay, so Skylar, your turn.
Tyler explained that he would not play in the tournament as he had fever.
Very good. Enough said, right? He would, will becomes would. He, I becomes he, right? Have become had, I becomes he. Okay, everything else remains the same. Now, these are simple examples, again, because there are no adverbs of time, right? There's no yesterday, today, tomorrow, right? So far, nothing yet, right? But you all know that in most reported speeches, there is always going to be an element of time. Okay, so now we are just going through the fundamentals, quite easy, Okay. Okay, who's next?
Clarice said that she would have her swimming lesson that night.
Very good. So tonight becomes that night, right? The adverb of time. Excellent. Thank you very much. Perfect answer. No problems there. Okay. So will becomes would. I becomes she. My becomes her. And tonight becomes that night. Okay. Very, very systematic. Do not leave out any point, because any one of these points that you leave out, what's the result? 0. Okay. So be very careful. Ariel. Go, Ariel.
Ariel explained that they would leave for their vacation the next day.
Excellent. No problems there. This is not breaking anybody's sweat, right? Very easy, right? Okay, let's go. Jira said.
Jira said that he would buy a new game the following morning.
I like that. The following morning. Very good. The next morning, the following morning. Okay, good. I like that. Very good. Okay, no problems there. Who's next? Ooh, look at that. Okay, go. Nazan.
Nazan told me that his family and him would be going on a cruise the next day.
What do you all think, everybody? Is that correct? I would say that the second attempt is better than the first, okay? But there is a problem. My family and I, right? Be very careful. You cannot directly translate this, because once you change the prepositions, the order of the prepositions sometimes must change also, okay? Can you see? It's not his family and him. It's he and his family, because the pronoun he is the subject pronoun. His family is an object, reference, possessive pronoun. So it cannot come in front. You cannot say his family and him. It's he and his family. Okay? Everybody clear? So be very careful. When pronouns change, sometimes the order of the pronouns must change in order to fit the structure of the sentence. Okay? So be very careful here. Okay, I am going to stop here because I have to go for a lesson at 11. I will send the remainder of these slides for you all. You all can practice, and especially those with your names on it, okay? Then I will send out a little worksheet that you all can practice on some other connectors. I will arrange a second session with all of you to cover some of the other connectors that we've learned from term 1 to term 3, okay? And I'll send some videos for you to review on those connectors as well.